Chapter 5. Conservation of Plants and Animals. Introduction. The biosphere is the area of the earth that is populated by living things like plants, animals, and microorganisms. All live things interact with their non-living environment, which includes the air, water, and soil. An ecosystem is created by the interaction of living and non-living elements in a space. Numerous different plant and animal species call it home. On the earth, there are millions of different types of life. Biodiversity. Biodiversity or biological diversity refers to the variety of life forms on earth. All varieties of plants, animals, and microbes are included. Plants use the nutrients released into the soil during decomposition to grow and thrive. Such interactions between living things support the ecological balance. As a result, we can assert that every organism is crucial to the ecosystem. India is a country with rich biodiversity. There are different types of habitats such as mountains, deserts, wetlands and rainforests. The flora and fauna existing in these habitats are very important resources for us. Excessive use of these resources in the recent decades has disturbed the ecosystem. It has made the survival of many plants and animals very difficult. As a result, many species have become extinct and many more are in grave danger of extinction. Deforestation. Forests are the precious wealth of a country. They are habitat to many organisms and provide us with many useful things. Some uses of forests are as follows. 1. They provide wood for various purposes such as making paper, furniture and houses. 2. They provide wood to be used as fuel. 3. They provide shelter and food to many animals. 4. They provide many herbs and other medicinal plants. 5. They provide useful things like rubber and resins. 6. They are a source of livelihood for tribal people living in the forest. 7. They help to maintain the oxygen-carbon dioxide balance by photosynthesis. 8. They maintain the water vapor in the air by transpiration. 9. The roots of the trees hold on to the soil and prevent soil erosion. 10. They help to retain rainwater for longer time, which in turn maintains the water table. Lots of forest cover in the world has been cut to provide more space for human activities. Reasons behind deforestation. Deforestation is the careless removal of trees for reasons that are either natural or man-made. Humans remove trees from forests for the following reasons. 1. Obtaining agricultural land. 2. Constructing residences and manufacturing facilities. 3. Using wood as fuel or to make furniture. A few organic reasons for deforestation include 1. Fires in forests. Summertime brings months without rain, leaving the forests full of dried, withered leaves and twigs that could catch fire at the slightest spark. The previous several summers have seen many fires in the Himalayan forests, especially in the Gadwal Himalayas, which has resulted in a significant loss of the area's vegetative cover. Lightning strikes trees, igniting many forest fires. But rain puts out these kinds of fires with little harm. Dryness, low humidity, and high air temperatures provide ideal circumstances for the initiation of a fire. 2. Severe droughts. Drought can damage forests by weakening the ecosystem, which makes it more vulnerable to other occurrences like disease and fire, since diseases can easily infect plants in water-stressed environments, making Rainforests drier and more prone to forest fires. Drought lowers rainfall and humidity. A prolonged drought will cause the leaf litter to dry out, which will kill off decomposers and impair the efficiency of the nutrient cycle. 3. Landslides, floods, and earthquakes. An earthquake is a sudden movement or shift in the tectonic plate that makes up the crust of the earth. This can result in enormous devastation and is manifested on the surface as the ground moving and shaking. Furthermore, they have the ability to start secondary catastrophes including landslides, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis. Because so many trees are uprooted during earthquakes and landslides, it results in widespread deforestation. Flooding is a type of natural disaster that can be brought on by heavy snow melt and protracted rainfall. Floods contribute to deforestation because they reduce the gaseous exchange that kills plants by collecting water for extended periods of time. Impact of deforestation. Deforestation disturbs the ecosystem. It leads to disturbed weather patterns and increases the chances of natural calamities such as floods and droughts. Few important consequences of deforestation are as follows. 1. Due to falling of trees, there is less utilization of CO2, which increases the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. This leads to global warming as CO2 traps the heat rays reflected by the earth. Due to increase in temperature, the water cycle gets disturbed and the amount of rainfall decreases. This results in drought. 2. Due to deforestation, soil is left loose and becomes prone to being eroded by wind and water. Excessive erosion reduces fertility of soil and slowly the region gets converted into a desert. This is known as desertification. 3. Due to deforestation, the natural habitat of many animals and birds get destroyed. 4. Due to decrease in the number of trees, the rainwater that falls on the ground does not get absorbed. This excess water also contributes to flood. 5. When there are no trees to hold the rainwater, the water table decreases. Wildlife. Numerous wild creatures' ability to survive has also been impacted by human activity. Numerous species have already become extinct, and the number of remaining ones is dropping dangerously quickly. Pollution has a negative impact on all types of plants and animals. Natural catastrophes like earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, droughts, cyclones, etc., also cause a decline in the variety of flora and fauna in many places. The temperature of the climate has increased as a result of human activity and certain natural phenomena. This phenomenon, known as global warming, has impacted numerous species. Those that were unable to adapt to the changes are now imperiled or have gone extinct. Poaching is the practice of killing animals excessively for their meat, skin, or other body parts. The survival of other species, including blue whales and tigers, is also impacted. In order to maintain the diversity of organisms, conservation has to be undertaken. Conservation. There is an imbalance between man and nature as a result of deforestation, hunting, and poaching. To guarantee a steady supply of forest products, tribe existence, and ecological equilibrium, we must safeguard forests. For the purpose of protecting wildlife and forests, the government, private organizations, and indigenous people step up. Before discussing various issues concerning biodiversity, and conservation, let us discuss some common terms associated with them. Species. The term species refers to a group or class of animals or plants having certain common and permanent characteristics that clearly distinguish it from other groups. Habitat. The natural environment of a plant or animal species where it lives, reproduces and thrives naturally is known as its habitat. Endemic species, plant and animal species, confined to a specific geographical area, are called endemic species. For example, Asiatic lions are endemic to Gir National Park in Gujarat. Extinct species, species that no longer exist anywhere on the earth are called extinct species. For example, dinosaurs. Endangered species, species that are at a high risk of getting extinct in their habitat are called endangered species. Vulnerable species, species that exist in low numbers and may become endangered because of destruction of their natural habitats, overexploitation and other environmental disturbances are called vulnerable species. Threatened species, both vulnerable and endangered species together are described as threatened species. For example, Bengal tiger, Siberian tiger, African elephants, etc. In all countries, government agencies take care of the forests and animals. The government lays down rules, methods and policies to protect and conserve them. It also encourages people and societies to help implement these rules and regulations to protect our flora and fauna and their habitats, protected areas called sanctuaries. Biosphere reserves and national parks have been earmarked. Biosphere reserves. These are the areas meant for conservation of biodiversity. A biosphere is a large area in which the plant and animal resources, the wildlife, and the tribal people of that area are protected. Forest reserves. These are large areas of forest cover that are protected from human exploitation. These areas have been reserved so as to prevent deforestation, protect food and shelter meant for wildlife and undertake reforestation. Wildlife sanctuaries. These provide protection and suitable living condition to wild animals. In these areas, killing, poaching, or capturing of animals is strictly prohibited. Some of the threatened wild animals such as marsh crocodiles, gharial, black buck, etc. are protected and preserved in our wildlife sanctuaries, national parks. They are sufficiently big and varied to safeguard a wide range of ecosystems. They protect an area's historic artifacts, vegetation, and biodiversity. India's first reserve forest is Satpura National Park. India has roughly 100 national parks, zoological parks and botanical gardens. Zoos play a major role in creating awareness about the need to conserve nature. Few of the zoos serve as breeding centers for some rare or endangered animals. Botanical gardens have been established to conserve rare and threatened plant species. These also serve as a seed bank and have reserves of seeds of several species of plants. Project Tiger, one of the largest conservation programs in India, is Project Tiger, which was launched in April 1973. The idea behind this project was to identify and list the sites that were natural habitats of tigers and devising the ways of restoring them so as to protect India's national animal from getting extinct. In the beginning, 9 sites were identified all over India as tiger reserves. Over the years, the project has helped in the recovery of the habitat and consequent increase in the tiger population. In the reserve area, Red Data Book, the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, or IUCN, strives to evaluate the state of plant and animal conservation around the world. It keeps an extensive list called the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species up. To date, the species are classified into 9 categories on the basis of criteria such as the rate of decline, population size, area of geographical distribution, etc. The categories are as follows. Extinct. Extinct in the wild. Critically endangered. Endangered. Vulnerable. Near threatened. Least concern. Data deficient. Not evaluated. Few of the animals listed in the red list are blue whale, African elephant, etc. IUCN also publishes a catalogue called the Red Data Book, which lists rare species and those in danger of extinction. Migration. The movement of animals in large numbers from a place of declining food and resources to another place with more food and resources during a year is called migration. Many birds fly to far away areas every year during a particular time because of climatic changes. They fly for laying eggs as the weather in their natural habitats becomes unsuitable. These birds cover long distances to reach another land and are called migratory birds. For example, the Siberian crane. Recycling of paper. The process of recycling paper is one of the ways of conserving trees. It takes 17 full-grown trees to make 1 ton of paper. Therefore, there is a need to save paper. Paper can be and should be recycled. By recycling, in addition to saving trees, we can save energy and also save water, which is required for manufacturing paper. Waste paper can be made into useful products, such as packaging, writing paper, etc. Reforestation. Reforestation is the process of restocking of the destroyed forests by planting new trees. The trees planted should be of the same species which were found in that forest. In nature, reforestation takes place on its own. In a nutshell, for maintaining the diversity of organisms and also for the survival of human beings, conservation has to be undertaken. The main reasons for the loss of biodiversity are destruction of forests, pollution, climatic changes, natural disasters and global warming. Deforestation leads to soil erosion, desertification, reduction in the groundwater level, droughts and destruction of animal habitats. Sanctuaries, biosphere reserves and national parks are some of the protected areas where flora and fauna of that area are conserved. In India, Project Tiger has gained recognition as a famous conservation program. Recycling paper is one of the best ways of conserving trees.